student choir. I don't think, now I'm getting so emotional, I never thought I would be able to say, and this is the key singer. So, over to you guys. We have already chatted a little bit and we'll take it as it comes.
Hi everyone, so yeah, we're the King Singers, well, rather we're the current King Singers. I'm sure you may know a little bit. I know you were saying that you'd be telling you guys. The King Singers have been around since 1968. We clearly have not all been alive since then. So there's a gradual turnover. So there have been 26 King Singers ever. Only the 6 at one time. We are those 6. We've always been in the same vocal lineup. So 2 countertenors, a tenor, 2 baritones, and a bass. It's about the youngest the group has been almost since the group was founded in 1968, which is very exciting. We have our 50th anniversary next year. And before we start singing some stuff with you, we should probably just introduce ourselves individually. So why don't I start? I'm Johnny. I've just turned 30. I've been with the group for 6.5 years. It's my first time in South Africa. I absolutely love it here. And everyone told me that I would love Cape Town most, but so far Jomo's doing a pretty good job. So. I hate peanut butter, I love sushi. I can't eat that much more red meat because I'm very full and I'm very
Hello, I'm Chris. I'm the second baritone in the group. I'm currently the youngest serving member and the old man of the ensemble. I'm 37, I've been in the group 30 years. I do like peanut butter. And I like chocolate, but I don't like chocolate and peanut butter together.
Hi, I'm Chris. I was born in New Zealand and I've been living in England for 6 years. And I'm getting married in April to my beautiful fiancée. Got a lot of South African buddies back home, and I've always wanted to be here, so it's a real joy to be here. I've been with these guys for 5 years.
I should have mentioned as well that my wife and my daughter are here.
Hi guys, I'm Julian, I'm the tenor, you might be able to hear. Hello. And yeah, I've been in the group for 2.5 years, second newest, and yeah, I like pretty much fit everything really. Fishy's a good one. My mum's Japanese, so obviously.
Hi everyone, my name's Tim, and I sing the lower of the 2 countertenor parts. Been in the group 8 years, and I used to be a cocktail barman.
Hi guys, I'm called Pat and I'm the first countertenor, so it's my job to sing like a girl. That's what I do for a living. And I've been in the group for just under 5 months. I started in September, so I'm the baby. And my quirky fact is that I trained as a magician when I was younger.
Actually, also a massage therapist. We should actually say one thing which proves how much we're excited to be here is that usually we only ever travel as a 6, and right now we have Vic, Ellie, Steph, Bella, and what's her name, Liz? I see our 2 Liz are next door to each other. It's fine. She'll forgive me now. It's very early. But yeah, we're so excited that we've got loads of us on tour with us right now. So this is testament to how great this place is. So anyway.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
I'm curious, because you can't just become one of the King Singers by mixing drinks. You must have some real good music background. So did you sing in choirs like King's College? You must learn some way to become excellent like this.
Yeah, well, I actually did sing in King's College. When I was at university a few years back, I sang as a choral scholar in King's College in Cambridge. It's an amazing place with services in the chapel there every single day, and I was part of the choir, so I sang every day in the chapel, and that was part of my training. And before that, I was a boy chorister at a cathedral in England, and that was my earliest training when I was about 8 years old.
So for me, I grew up just outside London. Again, similar to most of my colleagues, started singing as a little kid when I was 6 or 7, doing the daily services as well, and studied for a music degree in London. Went on to do postgraduate stuff in vocal studies in London as well, and then was lucky enough before this job to sing. There's a chapel called St George's Chapel, and it's within the grounds of Windsor Castle, and so we got to sing for the royal family, and it was a huge privilege. And then Christopher gave me a call back in 2008 and asked me to audition for this So that was my journey.
I mean, so I was a boy from the age of 7, 8, and I should have said slash. In Cambridge as well, St John's Choir, also where Christopher is. And so yeah, I mean, something that's actually quite a common theme here, almost part of the journey, is that a lot of us in England have this English choral tradition. So many churches, many cathedrals, beautiful ancient buildings with choirs, and so from that early age, you learn basically how to read music as a kind of the number one principle of music training. So that's what makes the tradition in England slightly different to most other countries in the world. So a lot of people learn to sing by ear, and they get a sort of real feel for rhythms and actually movement in there as well. The English tradition is sort of, I guess, a little bit more stereotypically straight-laced and kind of just get the notes right and go from there. And so that's of course what we try and get away from, is to animate music.
Believe it or not, in New Zealand we also have a cathedral choir tradition, but there's only one place that you can train as a wee boy, as an affiliate school where you have your education. So that's essentially, you're a professional singer from a young age, and your education is what you get paid for, if that makes sense. So that was me, and I trained to be a teacher, and I taught music in French before getting a one-way ticket to England to try and be a professional singer and to be closer to Liz. And here we are. So it's worked out okay.
I quite agree to.
I started near London as well, in a city called Rochester, which is a very old city, and the cathedral there was originally founded about 1400 years ago. So it's, for England, it's not as old as many places in Africa. It's pretty old for England. And so between 8 and 13 I sang there, and then I had a few years off singing. At university I did a law degree, but I had a choral scholarship. This was at St John's when I met Julian, because Julian was starting as a boy chorister, and I was one of the basses in the university choir. We were 10 years apart. So it's interesting, it's fun to be working with him again there in the same group. And after I left Cambridge, I went over to Oxford for some postgrad, and I sang there, and then I qualified as a lawyer in London, but sang at the same time, kind of doing two things. And then I got the chance to audition, and really a lot of luck is involved, because there's only ever one part in the King's Singers you could sing. You know, I couldn't sing any other part than the one that I'm in now. And if that vacancy comes up at the wrong time, it's not going to happen for you. And the vacancies come up on average between 10 and 15 years spaced apart. So it's got to happen at the right time. So I was really lucky. I was phoned by the group around the same month that I qualified as a lawyer. So I was just reaching a different stage in life. It was a great time for me to have a career break. And at the time, my supervising partner at the law firm said, you're 23, go and do this. Go and do it for 5 years. Live your dream, do whatever you want to do, and go and see what happens. And in the first year of the job, we were doing a concert in America, and this absolutely stunning girl walked into the concert, and she was late. And so we noticed her. She ended up sitting on the front row, and I married her. There you go.
I have a confession. I received an email asking me to audition, inviting me to audition rather. But it mentioned Christopher Gavitas, and I didn't know who he was, so I had to Google him.
I've not married or met anyone from the front row yet, so just...
but today might be your day.
I'm the one different guy. I'm either proof that you don't need to be, or proof that you should have been Warwick chorister when you were younger. I sang in local children's choirs, and I was given my first solo with jazz hand DJing, and that has pretty much defined my existence until then. They're all very comfortable standing still on stage, I'm not. But I sang in children's choirs, I went to a German international school, went to school, didn't study music, studied classics, but sang in a choir like these guys would have done when I was 21. And then worked in advertising for a year, and then got a call, and thought, that sounds fun, it's way out getting out of an afternoon of work. And here I am, so anyway. We all have different stories. I think that's the fun thing. There are shared bits and there are different bits. But yeah, the main thing is that we also have a bit of history as well. Anyway, we have, as you know, a piece. One of the things that King's Singers have always done is mix music that has been very traditionally associated with our tradition. So music from the chapels we sang in, music that was written for kind of male voice ensembles from as early as 1500 all the way through to the present day. And then also we've done all the fun stuff at the same time, and I think that was when we originally started. That's what Masterclasses was different. We appeared on TV a lot in England and America, and we sang pop songs of the day and spirituals and folk songs and things that weren't normally sung by groups like this. And putting all of those things in one concert and in one performance was what kind of marked us out. Today, the piece that we're going to sing is actually something that comes from the more traditional side of our repertoire, but has been written recently by someone who's actually a good friend of the group. He's a Californian composer, he's a really lovely guy. He's got great hair.
Great hair.
Yeah. And this is a piece that he wrote for his wife. It's the setting of a piece by the Sufi composer, no, philosopher, sorry, someone at Audition, something like that. That's not, I think, what his name is. But it's beautiful. It's called This Marriage, and obviously we want to perform it with you tomorrow. So we wondered whether we want to work on it now. We wondered whether the best thing might be to start by singing it to you, and then we'll work on getting out for it tomorrow.
Sorry, I forgot about it. I was so excited about it.
Don't worry. I call it that I haven't brought my iPad. If I made a mistake, I know my everyone fixed it. I'll be fine. May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk, like wine and halva. May this marriage offer fruit and shade like the date palm. May this marriage be full of laughter, on every day a day in paradise. May this marriage be a sign of compassion, a seal of happiness, here and hereafter. May this marriage have a fair face and a good name, an omen as welcomes the moon in a clear blue sky. I am out of words to describe how spirit mingles in this marriage.
It's your turn. Stand up. Let's go. So we're going to sing each phrase, and then we'll sing it with you. Okay? So this is just the first phrase. May these vows and this marriage be blessed. Okay? So we'll demonstrate first.
May these vows and this marriage be blessed.
Together.
May these vows and this marriage be blessed.
Next phrase.
May it be sweet milk, like wine and alba.
Together.
May it be sweet milk, like wine and alba.
Right, any comments about that first page?
Beautiful sound.
Yeah,
Well, let's start with just one thing. You're watching beautifully, you're singing beautifully, and we're basically in time. But one way in which we can really help each other is right now, by looking at each other, by visual engagement. You can all make that much easier by holding your bodies high. So at the moment, everyone's looking down here, and then occasionally thinking, where are they? Oh no, there, you can both see.
Thank you.
That's not the first time.
It doesn't need to be there, it's just like a point where you can.
But also, if you hold it like this, it becomes a barrier, visually and sonically, between your ears. If you hold it like this, much flatter, then you can still see it. And you can see the audience, and it's a much narrower barrier, so you can see the audience. No.
Let's do the whole first page together.
May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk, like wine and alba.
Jules has a really good point, thank you.
So, it's beautiful sound again. Just, if you can think a little bit more now about the sense of direction, it feels very well placed together within the ensemble, but it does feel a little bit like each note is vertically thought, and as a result it feels a little bit slow on us. We like to have this, may these vows and this marriage be blessed, that kind of spoken rhythm. At the moment it feels very beautiful, but it's a little bit slow. So can we maybe do it once more, but thinking, leaning forward a little bit.
And a little point from me is, for the ladies singing along with me on the top part, the little notes on marriage be blessed, I think the way we do it is slightly faster than the way you're used to doing it. So be brave and come along with us and really get through those two little quaver notes.
May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk, like wine and alba.
Beautiful. That's
Lovely.
Very good.
Shall we turn the page? Yeah. All right, we'll sing the next phrase.
May this marriage offer fruit and shade like the date palm.
Together.
May this marriage offer fruit and shade like the date palm.
Next phrase.
May this marriage be full of laughter.
Together.
May this marriage be full of laughter.
Comments?
That's great. One thing which is really nice is that I'm already getting this sense of flowing with the text, which Jules mentioned. I'm really feeling that. Just a really obvious way is, as Jules demonstrated, just to think of the important words, which you seem to be doing, but it doesn't help just to articulate. So in that first phrase with that, may this marriage offer fruit and shade like the day palm. May this marriage is not so important anymore, because we say that every time. but fruit shade like the date palm. And then the second time, would it be full of laughter? What can we do to make that more energized? Well, for me, actually, what do you think? How can we make those words more energized? May this marriage be full of laughter. Have a guess. Smile, absolutely. One. Anything else? I think, don't forget that these beautiful consonants you can use. Laughter. The F or the GH in the middle, you know. If it's laughter, it doesn't have the laughter. It automatically, you get more of that. You get more of the in it. And that joy, that energy will really bring the music to life. So let's do it again, that whole page. And just think about how you can enjoy each of these words to really bring out the beauty of this.
Let's do the whole page together.
May this marriage offer fruit and shade like the date palm. May this marriage be full of laughter.
That's one of those phrases that does go on, doesn't it? So let's just sing all together. May this marriage be full of laughter, our every day a day in paradise. Let's do that together, okay?
May this marriage be full of laughter, our every day a day in paradise.
It's actually coming more and more each time you do another phrase. You're thinking of the points that have already been covered. So let's continue singing together until the end, and let's see what we come back to. Okay? May this marriage be a sign of compassion.
May this marriage be a sign of compassion, a seal of happiness. Here and hereafter. May this marriage have a fair face and a good name, an omen as welcomes the moon in a clear blue sky. I am out of words to describe how spirit mingles in this marriage.
Well done. Well done.
Some nice things happening.
It's interesting because you're naturally taking it at a slightly slower tempo to what we would, but I like that. The reason we take it a bit faster is that we have one singer per part. So we have to be able to get through the phrases without breathing. But with the larger ensemble, I think it's more the way that Eric envisaged it being performed in a more contemplative and reflexive way. So I wonder whether actually we should be slightly more on the back foot than we usually are. The sound is beautiful.
Could you just have a look for me at page 6? Do you have page numbers? Yeah? So at the top of that page you have a seal of happiness, and the next sentence, the next part of the sentence is here and hereafter. The way you sang a seal of happiness in a lovely sort of breathy way, do you understand what I mean by that? A lovely sort of mezzo, it wasn't on the voice as such, it was sort of a very heady, breathy sound. What do you think you could do in that next statement, here and hereafter? it's not just louder, but could you experiment with a more edgy, tone-filled sound? Do you know what I mean by that? We'll just sing you those two statements now, and listen to see if you can hear the difference between the breathy sounds we make, which you are fantastic at, and then when we add some tone into the sound and get a bit more excited with it. Yeah? You just have a listen. Let's see it.
A seal of happiness, here and hereafter.
So it's not an aggressive sound, but we call it the vocal colour. So we try and sing in lots of different vocal colours, and by that I mean the breathiness and the not so breathy, the harder tone. Can we do that same thing all together now? And just experiment with that. Even in a simple piece like this, we have to have variety, otherwise it's all the same. Okay, so same place.
A seal of happiness, here and hereafter.
So did that feel different? It certainly sounded different from up here. It's not, what was lovely about that is when I asked you to sing in that way, it wasn't full of vibrato, which is not ideal when we're in an ensemble. It was just a nice, full sound with lots of tone. Yeah? And I think what's standing from up here, what's so lovely is that it's so, the tone is so straight, and it's not lots of vibrato. When we use vibrato in our voices, which is a natural thing to have, some of the chords just wobble, and you don't hear a beautiful in-tune chord. But this, there's no wobble. It's great. It's beautiful.
Could you sing exactly the same phrases again? Do you mind? I'm going to listen to the balance because it's been wonderful to sing with you the whole time. But that means that we can't hear how you're balancing internally. I've got a slight feeling that we might need a little bit more of the bass, a bit more tenor bass, not so much. Again, I won't talk in terms of the directness of the tone. It's more about the width of the sound to create a nice firm depth. And it's really hard because you guys are at the back and you're further away. So if you can just boost the sound a little bit and just do a bit more.
Before we do it, I wonder if there's one more thing that occurred to me was between these two phrases, a seal of happiness, here and hereafter. What happens between those two phrases? What have we got to do? Breathe, exactly. I wonder if we could do a slightly more active breath so that we can feel you breathing with us. So, happiness, yes, as if you're excited to go on because we're about to get firmer in tone. And I think it could be really exciting if we all take a really positive collective breath at that point. See what you can do.
A seal of happiness.
Okay, bass is awesome. 10% more of you please now.
A seal of happiness, here and hereafter.
Yeah, that balance is so lovely. It's beautiful. It's really, really nice. It adds that richness to it. Naturally, we would hear the higher voices because they're higher frequencies. So, a really everyday example of that is if you listen to police sirens or fire sirens or ambulances, they're really high pitched because the high frequency cuts across everyday noise and we hear them. So we're going to hear the top parts in any ensemble more naturally clearly. So the lower parts have to work harder. That's why in the King Singers we have 3 basses, really 2 baritons and a bass, 3 bass tenors, half the choir. Half of our ensemble is in the bass of that, so we can create this firm pyramid bed of sound. It's often tonic or keynote, dominant, tonic. So the bottom 3 notes is strength. And if you can always, ladies, if you can always keep your ear out to make sure you can basic, then and the tenors, you know, then the balance. That would be useful. Remember how that felt, guys?
If we look at page 7 now, so the bottom of this page, that same beautiful breathy sound, that soft colour, and then over the page, to the last page, on that R, that's the colour we just experimented with, the more tone. So can we just try that? So we'll just demonstrate first and then we'll do it together.
As we do this phrase, these are really long phrases, and you probably need to breathe in them, but what we want to try and maintain is this seamless text. So can you try and make sure that with someone else in your voice part maybe standing next to you, just make sure you're breathing at different times. It's what we call staggering breathing, so just so you know that. Just make sure that happens so we do this continuous flowing.
This is actually a piece that we normally do one per part, so 4 voices, and Johnny and I sit out and we enjoy it. And I had a question for you guys. What do you do on the last line, or if you're singing an ooh, and there's 2 chords, do you repeat the ooh, or do you just go ooh? How do you do that?
So
is there a wee
tiny reiteration?
Is a tiny reiteration?
Yeah, the the note continues.
Can you guys just demonstrate? This is the last line of the piece, where you've got 2 chords per, 2 notes per chord. Just how we deal with that. How they just, it's a very subtle thing, isn't it? It's not ooh, 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 but it's very subtle. Should we try that? How long do you think we can hold that last chord for? Can we be brave and do something and not count it, just feel it? Yeah? Last line, and be really brave with that last line. And if you need to breathe, just breathe. Now let's try this, because if he can hold on, prove it.
Yeah.
Try and get just as quietly as you can. Yeah, to dim to nothing. Just go to nothing. There's an Italian word, niente, to nothing. Just let's imagine that. Here we go.
Should we run it?
Yeah.
What's great is that the ooh sound, you're all doing very unified ooh sound. We usually have to work with choirs a lot because there's different versions of ooh, some ooh, some lots of different types. But it's such a wonderful ooh sound coming from you. And when we look at you, you all have the same shape. All the same shape. So keep those lips nice and forward. Pucker up.
Can I ask something? We didn't get to the last line of page 6, and that was a bit of a mess.
This kind of mess. So why don't we go from the top of page 6? So top of page 6, we do that soft colour, the hard colour, and we keep that hard colour to the bottom line as well. That nice full of tone. Okay? This is from the beginning of page 6.
A seal of happiness, here and hereafter. May this marriage have a fair face and a good name.
I think it was messy before because we pushed that phrase on. Actually, I prefer the way you're doing it. So I think it was reworking with you actually.
If that particular version is messy, I don't know what we can do. That sounded amazing.
The only thing I would just on that page, on that phrase there, if you can, because obviously marriage haver is quite high in all parts. If you can really actually aim more towards fair face and a good name, I think those are more important because it's quite easy just to make marriage haver be the most sort of dominant part of that phrase.
Exactly, but without anticipating the F.
Yeah.
It's something that we struggle with. We sing, may this marriage have a fair face. May this marriage have a fair. So you've got to make sure that the A vowel is pure. It doesn't get cut up.
Okay, should we run the whole thing?
Excellent.
So tomorrow, presumably, we won't be facing each other. So maybe we should practice coming in together when you can't see us, but you will just be able to hear our breath. Okay? So why don't we practice? Why don't you all close your eyes? You all know the first line, don't you? Yeah?
We'll find out. Yeah.
So once we've done the first few bars, you can open your eyes again. But let's just try coming in together when you can't see us.
Should we close our eyes?
Yeah. Why not?
May these vows and this marriage be blessed.
Why don't we do that again?
Close your eyes. No peeking.
May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk, like wine and have
only 3 of you had your eyes open for that whole thing. The rest of you are doing it totally with your eyes closed. I wonder if you need your music.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Well done. I came up and stood tuned toes and bases because first I wanted to hear the sound you were making, and I wanted to observe your physicality and how you were engaging with the music and how you were breathing, because we have the aircon, so it's quite difficult to hear your breathing from down here. And it's lovely. The whole thing does feel very organic, and you're really working together. It's lovely. Sometimes we have to work for a long time to choirs when you teach on things which you just do. So it's such a pleasure. And a credit to your Renette as well.
There's something else which is quite interesting. Sorry, just an observation, just maybe totally incorrect. But you were saying that you don't often work with scores. Really?
Yeah, no, we work with schools, but when we start off, we don't read so well. So
Yeah.
we start to learn, and some of them can read pretty well after 4 years. Not. So we're reading improves a lot because we always use the schools. And then sometimes I don't want to let the schools go, and I don't know why, because they don't really read exactly, but they just want to remind themselves.
Well, the reason I say it is because one of the things that really takes us a long time with a lot of choirs who sort of traditionally always just stick with the score is that breathing together thing doesn't happen easily at all. So they wait for the conductor's director, they only come in when that happens. And that breathing thing happened immediately, basically with every phrase, every time.
Yeah.
It strikes me you're just much better at listening than most people. It's interesting as well. I just wonder there's a relationship between these things.
I think with this group, we've been working really hard last year, and we went through difficult patches, and we actually linked psychically with each other. We feel things really together. There's a strong emotional bond between us, and I think that helps because
It shows.
it's not separate conductor and choir. We like organism,
Yeah.
really,
Well, that's exactly
Yes.
that's what we try and do too.
and it's very visible for us to see that.
Could you just glance at page 7 for me, please? So, just could you say the first word, the bottom line? What? Just say that for me. 1, 2. I. Say it for me again. I. Yeah. So something happens there, doesn't it? I. There's a change. And if you look along that same line, the word before spirit. The word before spirit. Say that with me. How. Okay, there's a change there, isn't there? How. I hear it when you say it, but I don't always hear it when you sing it. So we always try and go with choirs and sing things like you speak them. Yeah. So I and how, and it happens a lot throughout the piece. They're just 2 examples. Yeah. Describe. There's lots of them. So when we come to perform it tomorrow, just keep it in your mind.
That's the phrase which is difficult to breathe as well. And I was listening out to you that time we ran through, and all of you are running out of breath at about the same point in time. So there are little gaps, normally around, describe how to breathe goes. And what you have to do is preempt that by some of you breathing before you need to. So even though you're not running out of breath, you want a third of you or a half of you to breathe early doors. You might do, I am out of work to describe how spirit me, just so that you can get through the end of the phrase. And it's not the question that all of you are running out of juice at the same point. So you can think about that with your neighbours. Work out, when are you going to breathe, when should I breathe? Then you get a more seamless.
And on that note, another trick of the trade, if you're trying to do one of these sneaky breaths where no one's going to know and you're doing it early, if you are going to breathe on a word like words, it's going to be really obvious if you put the d-z at the end. If you go, I am out of words, it's going to disrupt it. So just leave it off and take your breath without doing any consonants, then just fade back in as if you've been singing the whole time. That's a really, really handy trick. We do it a lot because we obviously have to do lots of tricks to keep the phrases long. So bear that in mind as well.
And one more little point, if I can. Each time you breathe, make sure you're thinking about the words coming up in that breath. Because the reason why, you've got to think about it, why are you saying these words, why are you breathing? It's because you want to say something. And so if you can, I can see some of your smiles and your expressions beautifully lighting up during the phrase, then actually, remember you're saying it as a reaction to the thought, and the thought happens in the breath. Okay? So make sure the breath goes into the phrase. There were a couple of moments where it was a, I am out of words, whereas it needs to be, I am, it's more of a natural process to the words. Yeah? Just an idea.
Breathing's all part of that performance.
Yeah,
It's all part of the performance. So tomorrow, I will, just like we did then, I will blow the note. We'll make sure in rehearsal that we can all hear that. And then we'll wait for a silence and we'll do just what we just did.
We're going to be facing away from you, aren't you? So you get to sit the best side of us. But we'll be very physical. Our breath will be... Should we just practice a couple of things?
We'll make sure that we don't obscure the front row because
No places better.
we might stand in the middle, or we will work it out. You don't want to have us standing up front because no one's going to see.
Okay. The more you can look up, it's okay if you make a mistake now. This is the rehearsal, so be brave now. Challenge yourself to just look up and feel this breath with us.
Chaps with that, you can't hear it, just let me know.
May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk, like wine and halva.
Right.
Very nice.
Was that easy enough to see?
Yeah, if you need us to do any more physical, just let us
You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it.
I have one final point. Sorry, we keep rattling on with these final points. The end of the piece is way after we've ended singing. Anything in a piece like this which is so moving, so poignant, you know, about marriage, about love, we're going to stop singing and we're going to stay absolutely still, and hopefully the audience is going to stay absolutely silent as well. Try in that moment just to resist moving. Enjoy, let that silence kind of wash over everyone, and then the audience will decide when it's time to applaud. But don't let us be the ones to interrupt that beautiful moment. Let it be.
When will this piece happen? Will it be, how in the program?
Of course. I think it's the final thing.
Is it or is it top of the second half? It's encore.
I think it's the encore, yeah. I think it's the final thing that's going to happen in the
Joint
whole.
encore.
Yeah.
We'll invite you on stage.
We'll work through that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're going to see you tomorrow sometime between 1:30 and 2.
Yes.
Right.
If you need us, because we want to listen to some.
Oh, come and listen to the rehearsal.
Yeah, because there's not space for us to hear you guys. Maybe they will need
How people will talk to your people.
I think so. I told them we will do something else.
Nice.
So now you're going to teach us something.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, girls. If you'd like to. All right, let's go.
But before that,
let's just do something with easy words, you see what I mean? Right, so we're gonna I'm just gonna say the text of Shosholoza. Yeah. Shosholoza. 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 Kulezontaba. Kulezontaba. Stimela. Stimela. Spume South Africa.
Spume South Africa.
Spume. Spume. South Africa.
South Africa.
Shosholoza.
Shosholoza.
It's like saying shop. Shosholoza.
Shosholoza.
So the word that is cheeky there, it's actually stimela spume.
Stimela spume.
There we go. Stimela spume South Africa.
Stimela spume South Africa.
Bravo. Now I'm going to say the whole thing rhythmically. Shosholoza.
Shosholoza.
Kule Zondahaba.
Kule Zondahaba.
So the entire thing, let's go from the beginning.
Shosholoza. Kule Zondahaba.
Stimela Sipume South Africa. Act.
Stimela
Sipume
South Africa.
That is the first verse. Let's do it for the last time again. Together now. 2, 3, 1, and go.
Shosholoza. Kule Zondahaba. Stimela Sipume South Africa.
There we go. Soprano. Shosholoza. Go. And
Shosholoza.
alto. Shosholoza. And go.
Shosholoza.
Tenor. Shosholoza. And go.
Shosholoza.
There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go bass. Alone. 2 and. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So. Oh yeah. Away, yeah, are we good? So away twice. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, and away, again. Away, away. We do it twice. We do it twice. Are we good? 2 and away. 1. Away. 2 and away. Yeah. Away. So there we go. Alto, tenor, and soprano. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Shosholoza. Kule Zondahaba.
Stimela Spume South Africa. Can you do that one? 2 soprano only. 2 and go. Stimela Spume South Africa. Beautiful. Alto, Stimela Spume South Africa. Alto and soprano and go. Stimela Spume South Africa. Beautiful. Again, 2 and go.
Stimela Sipume South Africa.
Stimela Sipume South Africa. And go.
Stimela Sipume South Africa.
Nice. Can you take from Shosholoza now? 2 and go.
Shosholoza. Kule Zondahaba. Stimela Sipume South Africa.
Okay, let's go.
Shosholoza. Oh yeah.
So now, basses, you're going to join us. Now that basses, you join us from the middle part. Can we omit the first? Oh yeah. Can you take that one out? Then we do one. Show, 2, 3, and show. Yeah. So the bass starts. And go. Oh yeah. Show. When we have Baleka, go back Kulezo Jaba Stimulus Kume South Africa, right? So same harmonies. Let's go. When we have Baleka, A, 2, bass. Oh, yeah. When we have Baleka. We must also know. Right. Okay.
Yeah, we can stand with it.
I'm going to stand with the top.
One. Very nice. A 2, a 3, and go. I show. Something that you can also sing. So we'll perform something for you, but please do stay there, because if it moves you, go on. Let's take it lower.
Infuyo
I think that all of us just sitting here, that's amazing. It reminded me, there's a quick anecdote. I don't really want to say anything about the performance itself, it's gorgeous, but we've done a lot of work with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir over the years. And there's the last thing we often do is they do a morning broadcast on a Sunday, which is sort of their kind of big Mormon TV watching public around the world. Sounds weird, it is. But anyway, once we finished it, there are 360 of them, and they sort of ask us as the soloists to turn around. We have to stand there. They sing this song to us, which is "God Be With You Till You Meet Again." And every time they do it, I think almost all of us cries. Almost every single one of us cries every time, because it's so kind of they mean clearly what they're singing to. So not only does it sound beautiful, but it's so meant. And it's been a long time actually that I've watched a choir sing a piece like that, which is liturgical, which is sacred, and actually just feel like everyone meant everything they were singing. Yeah. That's really, really powerful. So thank you. That's beautiful. I don't really want to say anymore. Anyone else?
Extraordinary. It was beautiful. The one comment I have is nothing to do with the sound or the intention or the tuning or the balance or any of those technical things, because it was so heartfelt that I wouldn't want to change a single thing. Except the one thing which is very hard when you're in a university setting is that your ratio of rehearsing to performing is enormous. How many times do you rehearse in a room like this or in this exact room per year?
Times a week.
Sure. So you're talking over 100 times a year.
Yeah.
And you perform how many times?
Well, we had about 17 concerts.
Okay, so that's actually not too bad. So it's about 5 or 6 to 1. But you get so used to being in a small room like this and focusing your attention on your director, and the attention that you were focusing on her was wonderfully correct and really intense. But what you must remember is when you've got an audience out there, and when you're in a much, much bigger space, you need to send every ounce of that performance beyond. So, and we haven't seen you in a bigger space, so you may do that, and if you do, that's brilliant. But you were focused so intently on here that I would, just a word of encouragement that when you do perform to more people in public, and you may, I'm sure you told them this too, it has to go out. You've got to share this with as many people as you can. It's really beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
I would very much like to have an official picture with you. So, I think what we do is put you right in the middle and spread those out. I'm also going to.
Yeah, of course.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please.
We just finished audition, so I want to know what does your audition entail?
Sorry? Audition. I might talk about that because it's the most recent for me. Well, as some of the guys said earlier, the first real step to becoming a King's Singer is to get invited, and that involves a lot of luck. The guy who did my part before me, he did it for 26 years, so for 3 years before I was even born. So it involves a lot of luck that the right voice part for you leaves at the right time. You've already heard that. So then, if you are singing professionally, and it's really in England, in Oxford, in Cambridge, in London, and other sort of English cities, it's a very small world of people who sing professionally, and you get to hear about people who are good in a certain voice part. So when someone decides to leave, when my predecessor decided to leave, the other guys got in touch with conductors, choirs, singing teachers around the country and said, who's good, who might be able to fill this role? And so then they draw up a list of people who are recommended for it, and those people are contacted. So I got my email in August of 2015 saying, would you like to audition? And I thought, damn straight. So then if you accept the audition invitation, you get sent a pile of music, just in the first case 5 or 6 pieces of music, and you learn them. And rather than singing as a solo to these guys to hear your voice, I just step straight in here where I would be doing my job and sing the pieces with them as if I were already in the group. And my predecessor David was sitting out and listening as an extra pair of ears to say, yeah, that works, that sound could be good. And they narrow down the process from, say, 15, 20 people down to 2 or 3 or 4 for a second round. And then that's a bit more detailed. There's more music to learn. You work in a bit more detail, more like a rehearsal, I guess. And there's also an element of working out if the person socially will fit into the dynamic of the group. And I obviously failed that bit, but some of the rest of it worked. And then the guys vote, as lots of things are decided, there's a vote on who they'd like to have, and then you're chosen. Then life's extremely different from that point onwards.
So the members choose the other members.
Yeah, that's
There's no
correct.
outside jury because you've got to live with this person.
Precisely.
We have to live with it.
What does happen, so what we've done the last couple of times is for the final round of auditions, we've done a kind of mini performance and invited some people who we trust, we know management, who might recommend to come in and say, what do you think? And it's lovely, I mean, in the case of Pat's audition, it's really good when it finishes and everyone just goes, that's easy, it's done. And you know not only the people in the group say, but people who watch the group, who listen to the group also say the same thing. So.
Any other questions?
Good question.
As a small group, right, what kind of warm-ups you guys do to maintain resonance but still playing, like have individual tone, still playing as a group?
Well, it's different actually. We all have our own sort of warm-up routine, really. I do lots of humming, a lot of humming, just to stretch the chords, and then I do some vowel work, lots of scales, quite gentle. I wouldn't want to do too much, I try and keep it gentle. I probably should do a little bit more work on breathing exercises, so that's something I need to keep working on.
But humming,
What was a group?
no group warm-up, no.
But we always rehearse for about 2 hours on the day of a concert, so that's a chance to get the voice working really healthily before the show. So before that, it's just a case of how much your voice needs to get itself secure and strong to start a rehearsal. Because if you go in with rehearsing some loud music straight off, you don't want to damage your instrument by making no sound, but then you could also damage it by singing for the whole day, warming up for 3 hours, 2 hours rehearsal, then concert, which is too much. So it's a balancing act.
Bear in mind we do anywhere between 120 and 140 concerts each year. So, and plus we do the 2 rehearsals as well. So you really are in a sort of semi-state of being warmed up the whole year. So, but we're all very different. I mean, I started my singing life as a baritone, like you guys, and I only went up singing falsetto countertenor range in the last sort of, 8-9 years. So for me, I warm up my baritone, my chest voice first, and then work up, flipping up into falsetto that way. But
That's a good point, and I do the reverse. If I can sing in falsetto, I know that I'll be okay. If I've got no falsetto,
but as Chris said, humming is a great way, it's very gentle on the chords, so it's a great way to start the sound coming.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm amazed at you baritones normally. Is there some sort of a trick that baritones become good countertenors, or that good tenors also be good countertenors? Do you understand my question?
I think it's surgery, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, every guy has that flip up into the falsetto. But at the very start, it's a very, very, very weak instrument. You know, you're only using the very edges of the vocal cords. So it's a case of strengthening the chords so that your falsetto is as strong as your chest voice. But for me, you'll hear both of our speaking voices are quite low.
Yeah.
But
That's exactly what I'm
yeah. But Pat's predecessor, David, his speaking voice was very much like Julian's, quite tenorial, quite a tenorial speaking voice. And as a result, he had that incredible extension on the very, very top of his countertenor range. So every guy can do it, it just depends whether you want to make a living of singing like a girl or not.
Anyone else? Any other questions?
Yeah, here we go.
Is anyone supposed to mention their music?
Yes.
We'll have a selfie later.
Thank you all so much.
What a joy.
For singing with us and having us. We can't wait tomorrow.
Teaching us
Thank you both. And we'll see you at dinner tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.